The results of the 8th term Legislative Council election of China's Hong Kong Special Administrative Region were unveiled early Monday. All the 90 new term Legislative Council members have been elected. They are made up of 40 seats elected by the Election Committee, 30 by functional constituencies, and 20 by geographical constituencies throughout direct elections. A Hong Kong and Macao Affairs Office of the State Council spokesperson said the election is important for high-quality democracy that aligns with China's one country, two system policy. So, what do the Hong Kong election results mean at this time? Let's hear from our panelists. Joining us, Xiao Geng, Associate Dean from the Chinese University of Hong Kong in Shenzhen, and Whitman Hung, Director of the Greater Bay Area Research Center of China's Silk Road I-Valley Research Institute. Welcome to both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, we understand the turnout of voters for the Legislative Council is slightly higher than last time. Mr. Hung, there were earlier concerns because of the latest incidents in Hong Kong. The voter turnout might not be satisfactory. However, it seems that people were coming out to vote.
Life has to go on. I mean, we have to move on. The election itself is a requirement, by the law that we need to re-elect our legislature every 4 years. And then there was some earlier speculation that maybe they want to postpone the election, but then the chief executive, John Lee, announced that they will go on as usual. I can see, because I was actually on the street yesterday helping some of my friends for their campaign. There were actually people who are actually very eager to come and vote. I think what they understand is, yes, there was a tragedy, there was an issue that need to be resolved. But at the same time, we'll need to re-elect our Legislative Council so that they can help and work with the government together to solve the problems.
Professor Xiao, you are an educator. Now, what do you make of the results so far? Among them, there are those coming from education and also from geographically locating that are relevant to you and your students.
Well, I think this election is very effective and real competition among competent candidates. And so that's why one of the reasons turnout is pretty good. And also a lot of new faces actually won the election. So it's really focusing on the local issues, to be dealt with in the future. Compared to the last one, it's much more competitive, and people given a lot of expectations on the candidates to be elected.
Mr. Hung, your thoughts compared to last time?
I was actually involved in campaigns both times. Comparatively, because last time was the first time under the new this election methods for the new Legislative Council, where they have 90 legislators. So there were people who are still not very familiar with the new system, especially also the candidates themselves. For those running for the election committee candidate, it was a totally new thing. So their campaign, their way they were answering questions were a little bit, they were not very used to it. But this time, because it's the second time, people have seen it. A lot of them are running for re-election. It's actually much smoother. But of course, the competition is just like Professor Xiao just said. The competition is much higher because there are more people. They understand the system. They want to run.
There are a lot of talks about the patriots administering Hong Kong, and also this election is another result of China's one country, two systems. As a scholar, how do you see these two important political slogans, in fact, is being reflected in the results?
Legislative Council election is a local election. We have to remember that. So in that sense, there is already assurance that all the candidates are really patriotic. And so the focus is really on electing the competent people to help run Hong Kong and under the one country, two systems. Some of the people who joined the election, I personally know some of them are very young, very competent, even though they have not really won. They didn't won the election. But I think that's an indication about the future of Hong Kong. There are a lot of young people who prepare to join the political, the career.
No country or no city wants non-patriot to administrate them. Secondly, because it's a contrast of what we have seen, there was a certain period of time after the, coming back of Hong Kong to mainland, there were non-patriots in our legislature and also in other places in Hong Kong, and that was creating not only problems, but was stopping the city from moving forward. So I think this is fundamental. But of course, this patriots administration in Hong Kong had already been in place since the last election. So this is the second time, and people understand it more. The patriot administration in Hong Kong is the minimum requirement. On top of that, what we need is competence. Just like Professor Xiao just said, right? We have patriots, but also competent people that can help to administrate Hong Kong, and that's what we're seeing. I mean, they're looking. I know probably about 80 or 75 of all the elected councillors. I know them for some of them for quite a long time. So they are all very competent people, and they are all patriots, and they have contributed to Hong Kong and our motherland many times in the past. So I can see the new system is actually working by electing these people. And in fact, even those who didn't get elected, they are patriots, and most of them are very competent as well.